First of all, Happy New Year to everyone. Happy 2023, and let's hope this year goes a bit smoother than it has done in previous times. So with the new year, I thought I'd just do a short video here, welcoming the new year and acknowledging some of my favourite parts of Doctor Who. I've gone through and split it up into several different sections. I've got my favourite classic story, my favourite new story, my favourite Big Finish story, which I started last year, my favourite Doctor Who comic, and my favourite episode of all three of the spin-offs. Well, three of the major spin-offs. Torchwood, The Sarah Jane Adventures, and Class. So to start off with, I'll give my favourite Doctor Who classic story, and that for me is the fourth serial of Doctor Who's 12th season, Genesis of the Daleks, aka episodes 11 through 16 of season 12. This, I still think, is one of the best classic Doctor Who stories, definitely one of the best of Tom Baker's era, and it does still raise a question that many people, I think, still argue about to this day within Doctor Who. I mean, as Tom Baker puts in the episode, someone pointed out a child to you in the crowd, and that child would grow up to be totally evil, to be a monstrous dictator who would go on to murder millions of innocent people, could you then kill that child? It's the question of, if you have to commit an atrocity to prevent an atrocity, is it still better? I mean, does the end justify the means? And to be honest, that's a question that Doctor Who itself is still arguing to this day. I mean, even in the new episodes, The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar, Davros does bring that back up again. And as the Doctor says, there's no clear answer. So that really does show a testament of how good this particular serial is. And it, once again, features Tom Baker, Ian Marter, and Elizabeth Sladen at their best, and everyone's just on a roll here. Of the new era, I tend to dither between two stories. My favourite is either The Stolen Earth and Journey's End, i.e. episodes 12 and 13 of Series 4, which had pretty much everyone in it. You had David Tennant, Catherine Tate, Billie Piper, Freema Agyeman, Camille Cajuri, John Barrowman, Noel Clarke, and Elizabeth Sladen all in one place, facing off against the classic villain of Davros and the Daleks. Everyone here is on their A-game, and it, to me, was just the biggest thing of Doctor Who, Torchwood, and the Sarah Jane Adventures all coming together in one episode. That, to me, was just brilliant. I absolutely love it. The other episode that I can dither between The Stolen Earth or Journey's End is the 11th and 12th episodes of Series 10, World Enough in Time and The Doctor Falls. Now, with all accounts, this shouldn't have worked, because we all knew that the John Sims Master was coming back. We had seen from the promotional material. We also knew the Mondasian Cybermen were coming back. But still, that cliffhanger at the end of World Enough in Time, when Bill is revealed as a Cyberman, I could see it coming from a mile away, but it still hit me like a ton of bricks. I remember being scared of just seeing Bill being turned into a Cyberman and two versions of the Master in one place. I knew that this was going to get real. This ish was going to get real. So, as I say, I tend to dither between which one I like more, The Stolen Earth or Journey's End, and World Enough in Time and The Doctor Falls. Which one's better? Depends what kind of mood I'm in. But anyway. Of the Big Finish that I've listened to so far, I think my favourite one so far is the 34th Big Finish reveal, Spare Parts. I mean, once again, this was apparently built from a 1980s story that never got made, Genesis of the Cybermen, which, yeah, you can pretty much tell from there what they were planning with that. But here in Big Finish, even just listening to it, this does it so well and shows how heartbreaking, how sad, and how scary the production of the Cybermen could truly be. I mean, even just when the girl returns home to her father after being upgraded, it's heartbreaking to listen to. And that, I still think, is why it's the best that I've listened to so far with Big Finish. I'm still fairly new to it. I've only listened to about 12 stories, but I can guarantee from that that's a very good story. My favourite Doctor Who comic? Well, that would have to go to Prisoners of Time. Because, well, let's be honest, we're never going to get a full crossover episode with every single Doctor we've got so far. I mean, the closest we possibly got was one of the final scenes in The Day of the Doctor, just with all the Doctors saving Gallifrey. But this is, I think, the closest we're going to get. You see a build-up of each Doctor having an adventure, but then getting their companion stolen, and then all of them coming back for one issue to face off against Adam and the Master. And they work it. Just, you get to see each Doctor in their own kind of elements, and then them all coming together as one big team face off against the enemy. And I do think, if you haven't read it, check out Prisoners of Time. It's a must-read. Now, of Class, I would personally say my first favourite episode is the very first one, For Tonight We Might Die. I mean, I'm sad that Class didn't go further than it did while on TV. I know it has got, like, a Big Finish audio release, which I haven't listened to. I haven't listened to any of the stories from there, but I do know it did continue in audio form. But for the time that it was on TV, I think my favourite episode was the very first one. Because I know some people will say that Peter Capaldi turning up at the end there to help them out, that's cheating, because the parent show has to come in to help the son or daughter get rid of their problems. But at the same time, they do it very well in setting up the characters, and I feel the Doctor's experience is just icing on the cake. Of Torchwood, I would say my favourite episode from, I think it was 2008? 2008, I think, was the 9th episode of Series 2, Something Borrowed. Gwen and Rhys getting married, but then having to deal with a lot more stuff on the day. Not just their Torchwood teammates, but also the likes of an alien who has impregnated Gwen with its child. So they have to deal with, one, a pregnant Gwen on the wedding day, and two, it's a monstrous creature that's out to kill everyone in its path. I mean, I think my favourite part is when Rhys is facing up against this creature, which has taken the form of his mother, and he's just saying to it, You get my girlfriend pregnant, you impersonate my mum, and you ruined my wedding day. He's about to go for it with a chainsaw, and the chainsaw stops working. It's like, fudge. Well, not fudge, but you get the idea. And just Jack coming in to save them once again, that's just icing on the cake. I love it. So yeah, my choice for my favourite Torchwood episode is still Something Borrowed. And of the Sarah Jane Adventures, for me, it's the 5th and 6th episodes of Series 3, The Wedding of Sarah Jane Smith. And you could argue it's mainly because David Tennant's here, but at the same time, The Sarah Jane Adventures was a great show, and there are probably episodes that are better than this, but this was just my personal favourite. Just seeing Doctor Who and The Sarah Jane Adventures crossing over, facing off against Sarah Jane's most iconic enemy, the Trickster, and just having great fun at a wedding. So there you go. Start off 2023, there's a list of my Doctor 2 favourites. Genesis of the Daleks, The Stolen Earth, Journey's End, World Enough in Time, The Doctor Falls, Spare Parts, Prisoners of Time, For Tonight We Might Die, Something Borrowed, and The Wedding of Sarah Jane Smith. What's your favourite part of Doctor Who? Let me know down below. And until next time, see ya.